Hello. Today we would start subject-verb agreement, okay? And as you can see here in subject-verb agreement, we have got some different rules and patterns that always appear in the SAT real test. Let's go to part A. And A here is subject and in between non-essential clause or phrase. Okay, so it could be a clause or what? Or a phrase. Okay, and then verb. Example of this. Galaxies, that's the main subject. Far from being randomly scattered throughout the galaxy, that's the non-essential part. Appear to be distributed in bubble-shaped patterns, okay? So here, that's the main verb. Okay, so galaxies is plural, and the main verb is again plural, so I have to go for what? For galaxies appear. What about this part? Simply, it is non-essential. Okay, what do I mean by non-essential? The sentence can go without. Go without. Okay, so let us go through a rule here. Whenever you meet a parenthetical clause, a clause set off by commas that can be removed without affecting the fundamental meaning of the sentence, cross it out and check subject-verb agreement, okay? Okay, but this is what? Where is the parenthetical clause here? Okay, we have got far from being what? Randomly scattered throughout the galaxy, which is not important to the sentence. Let's go through this sentence. Borderlands Food Bank. Okay, that's the main subject. So let us write here, it's S. An organization in Nogales, Arizona. Okay, that part is non-essential. How do I know? It is what? Set off by what? By two commas, as you can see here, 1 and 2. Rescue millions of pounds of slightly imperfect imported food every year. So the main verb is what? Is rescue. Here you are talking about one borderland food bank or more than one. We're talking about the bank. So that's the main noun here, the main subject, okay? And what about borderlands food? That's an adjective, okay? So here we're talking about a singular subject. So borderland food banks, rescues. So you have to add an S here. You got it. So in that case, I have to go for D. Okay, and as you can see here, this is the explanation. Hopefully you understand. We don't say he rescue, but we say he rescues, okay? They rescue, okay? So this is part A. Part B. Subject, prepositional phrase, verb. In order to know, because some of you are not well aware of what? Of the prepositions, all the prepositions, okay? We have to be aware of this. Without reading the whole stuff, this part is an example of all the prepositions that might appear in the SAT exam, okay? I'm sure that you are aware of about, you are aware of across and after and along and behind, okay, and of and off and under. You are aware of these, but you need to know that concerning is an adverb, is a preposition. You need to know that despite is a preposition, including sometimes is a preposition. You got the idea, right? So for me, I need to make sure that you are quite aware of what a preposition is, okay? Got it? Again, what is the rule here, teacher? The rule is we have got a subject, as you can see here, and we have got a verb here. And in between there is what? Prepositional phrase. That prepositional phrase should not affect the relationship between the subject and the verb. Okay, let us take an example here. The speakers of what has come to be known as abolition English. Where is the main subject? Perfect. The speakers. That's the main subject. Then, what about of? Starting from of, which is preposition, okay? And what follows? what has come to be known as abolition English, this is what we call it what? Prepositional phrase. Again, it should not affect the relationship between that subject and the verb. Where is the verb? This is the verb. Has used. That's the main verb. Simply, I will never say the speakers has used. Of course, you understand why. That's completely what? That's completely wrong. In that case, I need what? A plural verb. So A is wrong. The speakers uses is wrong, still singular, right? The speakers use, that's correct. But let us see D, abolition English using. So we will never say the speakers using. Yeah, but this part is not a real verb, but it is a fragment, like incomplete what? It makes an incomplete what? Incomplete sentence. Yeah, but in that case, ya shabab, we have to go for what? We have to go for C. So let us read it with C. The speakers of what has come to be known as abolition English, the speakers use. So in that case, we need to go for this. Let's go for part C in subject-verb agreement. Suppose we start with the prepositional phrase. عرفنا يعني ايه prepositional phrase? It is a preposition plus a couple of words. تعالوا كده بقى. What's prepositional phrase? It is preposition plus what? A couple of words. يبقى that's a prepositional phrase. طيب, if we started with the prepositional phrase, are we gonna follow it with subject verb? No, they're gonna be kind of what? Swapping, switching. So instead of what? Subject verb, I'll go for what? Verb, number 1, and 2 is what? In the subject. Okay, let us see some examples. Look at this example, please. Along the Loop Canal in Nebraska. Along, that's what? Preposition. But all of this is a prepositional phrase. So we said we follow it with what? With verb. Extend, that's the verb. And then subject. Many lakes, parks, and what? And trails. All this is what? A subject. Okay? So as you can see here, the sentence is not arranged the way we got used to it. Okay? So how can we read it in the normal way? I'll go this way. This is number 1. Many lakes, parks, and trails owned by and operated by the Loop Power District. مالها many lakes, parks, and trail. Extends, so that's number 2. And then the preposition phrase number 3, the complement of the sentence along the Loop Canal in what? In Nebraska. You understand. So remember this. I would never claim that it always appears in the exams, but you need to know the rule, okay? You started with the prepositional phrase, يبقى verb, subject, not subject, verb. Same thing goes with part D. If you start a sentence with there is for singular, there are for plural, there has singular, there have plural, what would happen? Again, switching. Instead of like what? Subject, verb, I'll go for what? Verb, subject. There is not a subject by any means, where the subject comes after the verb. We have got have been, that's the verb, and many question, that's what? The subject. So in that case, I need to read it that way. Let us start together. Change color. Many questions raised about the handling of the company's finances have been, we're going to go this way. Many questions have been raised about the handling of the company's finances, okay? So 2, and then the rest of what? Of the sentence what? That's 3. And there, we don't need it at all. You got it? Let us read it again. Many questions have been raised, that's the rest of the verb, right? Have been raised about the handling of the company's finances. Let's go to part E, which is very important and always in the exam. Like, I would never say always, but it appears every now and then. Neither nor and either or. Okay, so look at the rule, it's a simple one. Look at the rule, it's a simple one. The verb always agrees with the noun after nor or. What do I mean by this? If I give you an example like this, neither my friends nor I are whatever happy about what happened. حاجة كده يعني. So what do you think? What do you think here? So let us start it. So we have got neither and we have got nor. So we have got subject number 1, S1, and then we have got subject number 2, that's S2. And this is the verb. What you're going to choose? Simply, I'm going to choose am, because the verb, as we said here, agrees with what? With the second subject, with the noun that comes after nor or. So in that case, I'll go for what? Neither my friends nor I am happy. If you change the order of the sentence, you go for what? Neither I nor my friends are. So I care about the second what? The second noun or the second subject here, اللي هي I. So the verb goes with it. Same thing goes for a sentence like that. Neither the park. The park, that's what? Noun number 1 or subject 1. Nor the lake. So the verb here goes with subject number 2. So this is the verb and that's the correct answer. So the lake is. You got it. Same thing with 1 or 2 subjects, okay? So we have got or. We said the noun or the subject, the verb, sorry, is determined according to what? According to subject number 2. So this is subject number 1 and this is subject number 2. So the verb here are يبقى goes with what? With 2. It doesn't go with subject number 1 or noun number 1. But this rule is a bit different, okay? Neither of and either of are followed by singular verbs. What do you mean, teacher? Simply when I say neither of the candidates. Here I'm not talking about neither nor or either or. Neither of the candidates, okay, is honest, for example. Teacher, why did you use is here? You are talking about the candidates. Again, neither, this is the main subject. This is main subject, MS. Of, that's preposition. And all of this is a prepositional phrase. And as we said before, forget about prepositional phrase. So the main subject is what? Is neither, okay? And the verb goes with what? With neither. You got it? So again, this is completely different from what neither nor and either or. Then let's go to the collective nouns. Collective nouns اللي بنقول عليه بالعربي اسم الجمع. Words like what? Or nouns like company, school, city, country, committee, jury, اللي هو judges in the court of law, agency اللي هي الوكالة. كله ده singular يا شباب. Okay? So, I will never tell you the whole story about it, but what I need to tell you about is that collective nouns could be what? Could be singular and plural, but with the SAT, it is always what, ya shabab? It is always what? Singular, okay? It was always singular. What do you mean by that? If you mean the company as a whole unit, so that's singular. But if you mean every member, every employee in the company, that's R. Let us, write this one. The team, let us say, always wins the games. As you can see here, the team is what? Is a collective noun, and it is singular. But if I wrote something like that, the team are quite happy because every player was whatever rewarded that sum of money. You understand what I mean? Something like that. So in the second part here, in the second one, I considered what? The team as what? As plural, because I meant every member of that word, of that noun. Okay, so in that case, the team are. But again, I don't want to go through this hustle, but I want to say like what? Always, if the collective nouns appears, a collective noun appears in an SAT, real test. So go for what? Go for the singular. So we have to go for this one. Okay, hopefully you understand.